turn my camera off here.
Yep.
That's okay.
There we go.
All right. Good morning, everyone. How are you doing today?
Good.
Good, thank you. All right. So we're going to be talking today just a little bit about the new pollution prevention grants that EPA just released a couple weeks ago. We had about 19 or so people register for this webinar. So it's kind of be just having just a very open, fluid conversation as people join. We'll see where everyone sits. But just right off the bat, let me get this set here. EPA is offering 2 pollution prevention grants. One is for sustainable products, so through their Safer Choice products. Then the other one is a little bit more open, where if it's just environmental justice in communities. So I was going to spend some time just briefly going through kind of the 2 at a very, very high level, and then opening up, see if you guys have any ideas or any paths forward that we would like to move. I will be, very open and transparent. We will be applying for a grant for this. Right now, I don't really know which direction or which partners. We are also very open to the idea of doing a subaward. So if there's another organization out there who would like to subaward under NDEP, we are very open to talk about that opportunity. So just first off, I want to open it. Does anybody have any questions or comments before we get started here?
Kayla, this is Allie. I have a frozen screen. I just want to make sure, does everyone else, can you guys see Kayla's document that she has presented here?
Should say
I
the
can't,
EP.
I can, and I saw a mouse move.
Okay,
Awesome.
beautiful.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks for checking for that, Allie. Appreciate that. All right. So really hearing nothing. So the first grant is looking for the safer product choices. And what I thought was one of their most helpful ideas was going through some examples. So this is really looking at how can we get the EPA Safer Choice products into different businesses. And so this one to me, I think it's a little bit easier to understand what they're trying to get at. And this has a very direct impact. We actually submitted a P2 grant application, I want to say 2 years ago, mirroring a program in the East Coast for auto mechanic shops to use Safer Choice products. So I'm very happy that we get another chance at this, seeing what some other ideas are out there. But I think the main thing is just getting these Safer Choice certified products into different environmental justice communities. So this first example here is looking at childcare facilities, pretty much getting the janitorial products to be Safer Choice certified in these low-income neighborhoods. Some other examples, so yes, this is a cleaning service provider. There were launders. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, I thought this one was really interesting. I was looking at sustainably certified furniture. And then the other example that I really liked was working with soup kitchens to get reusable products to reduce the impact of PFAS. So again, just really very, very open, but the main intent of this grant here is to get Safer Choice certified products into these disadvantaged communities. So does anyone just right off the bat have any ideas or anything that they think that would be a real impact for the state or a certain product that you guys are looking at? All right, well, not hearing any.
Kayla?
Go ahead.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Brian, I had my hand raised, but.
I'm sorry, I can't see it. Go ahead and just speak up.
No worries, I didn't. So I love the idea. I think there's good momentum building locally here in Northern Nevada for reusable utensils, plates, cups, etc. for various eating establishments. We had a conversation about possibly here at the senior center for the county. And I'm wondering, is that something that might fall under this grant category?
Absolutely. So here's the project's example that pretty much I saw this idea from. And they're targeting utensils and other food serviceware items to locations for school lunches, soup kitchens, restaurants. I think certainly a senior citizen facility would very much so qualify, pending that it's located in a disadvantaged community. EPA has several different EJ maps that we can utilize, and I'd say about 50% of Reno is qualifying as a disadvantaged or EJ community. So if we can identify certain centers in those areas and say, hey, these are the materials that we would like to encourage them or try and substitute otherwise, I think that's very, very plausible. That's been my favorite example so far.
Sure, and thank you for that. And you know, senior center is just one idea. Certainly love the idea of a school, and it makes sense to maybe pick a place that would be a manageable pilot project, right? So we can make sure it works well. But I would love to work with others if that seems like it might be feasible and worth pursuing.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Brian. Yeah, I think this one is it'll be easier to implement. I think of some others, but really looking at, we can see if there's any facilities that you know that are maybe interested in something of this. As I got more thinking about this idea, you know, it's if we're now using to multi-use products, is they're going to have a commercial dishwashing system or something of the sort. So I'm not sure. I'm still trying to understand if we can build that into the budget and also provide that equipment for these different facilities. But
right, that's the challenge, is that it requires infrastructure to support.
Yep. But if we can wrap that into this grant and be able to provide that for them, you know, is that a possibility? So the budget for these grants is $800,000 is the ceiling. I think it's between 100 and 150 is the floor. So really, if there's anywhere between there, if we want to do, you know, a couple locations, a single city, I think we can be very creative with this. Okay. All right. Does anybody have any other thoughts or anything else that would be interested in?
I was just gonna say, I just want to make sure that the disadvantaged community is pretty much the kicker for getting one of these, correct?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay, good deal. Thank you.
Yep. And that does provide a limitation.
I added the EPA EJ map tool. I put it in the chat so everybody has that link so that you guys can start identifying maybe what communities fall into your ideas there.
Thank you.
Well, there's also something where if you like Washoe County, if you identify a certain location, then we also identify, say, somewhere in Fallon, that's the same company. You know, that's two solid waste management authorities, then that's way we can do very easily either a sub-award, or if we just encompass the whole thing, we can be, I think, pretty creative on how we set these up to really get to these different areas that need these opportunities.
Great.
Okay. All right, so that's, just very high overview. I think really if you guys take another look at these project examples and then see what other grants have been awarded in the past, but this one to me has the biggest impact that's measurable. So keep that in mind as we kind of jump over to this next grant here. And this is environmental justice in communities. I'm not going to lie, this one's a little bit harder for me to understand. So a lot of this is encouraging the use of something. We can do different either webinars or trainings, but at the end of the day, it's we're encouraging the use of something, not really making an impact ourselves. We're really relying on the impact from others to essentially buy into the material that we're going to be producing here. So, and that's really, but again, this has the same thing, yeah, $100,000 to $800,000. If you guys want to do a, you know, like a large, what's the word I'm trying to look for here? Like a conference or some kind of trainings for different industries. Like I said before, we've looked at automotive and mechanic shops, looking at the different materials coming out of there. But at the end of the day, these do also have to be private businesses, which is kind of hard. So are there any other industries that you guys think would be a large target within your areas that would either benefit from a pilot project where we can, physically buy these products and say, hey, can you sample these? Let us know your feedback, and then we can create guidance based on the feedback we received. Or would anyone, like, I know there's a lot of breweries in the past that they've done how to be a sustainable brewer, in Northern Nevada. But at the end of the day, you can only encourage someone to do so much. I like when you have the physical, tangible way of providing assistance to these different locations. So you guys have any thoughts on that? All right, well, really not hearing any. I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing my screen so I can see everyone now. Oh, it looks like I can't see one because this is a webinar. My apologies. All right, so really steps forward from this. I know that was just a very high overview, but we have the 2 different grant opportunities we can apply for as part of PSN. One is the Safer Choice products, which again, that's the one that I'm just being honest, I'm leaning towards. Then the other is how do you get the different Safer Choice products kind of encouraging into environmental justice communities. So please take a look at the environmental justice map that Ali included in the chat. See what different communities are involved there, and then potential industries that you think would have an impact on your community. We'll be sending out another email probably at the end of the week here once you guys have been able to review that information, because we are going to start creating a grant application. We'd like to include everyone who's interested and really identify the target communities and industries. Okay. All right, so you guys have any other thoughts, questions, concerns before we end today?
I was just gonna say I haven't been involved in it for a while, but there was like some green business thing that was going on for a while, and some other green like restaurants and stuff like that was I think there was actually a corridor in Carson City that was doing something, and I kind of forgot what was involved, but there have been a few establishments in town that have been approached by that same group that was doing it. It used to be done mainly through the City of Reno sustainability manager, but she left, and I think they've been trying to pick that up again. But I haven't seen anybody signing up for it, but I just remember there was some kind of a green business / restaurant type group.
Yeah, no, great memory, Luke. So Donna Walden with Green Up's been working on that program.
That's it. Yep.
Yeah, so I know we do have the Green Dining District in Carson. They put together a lot of same thing, just these informational discussions and trainings. But at the end of the day, there's not really a lot going forward. So I'd really like to start, changing that tune and what really is going to make a difference. You can encourage as you want all day long, just like I can encourage you guys to, I don't know, have a great day. But if you're just having a bad day, nothing I'm going to say is going to change that.
Right.
So I really want to try and get something into these different industries that will make a difference. I'll go into a little bit more detail. So we were looking at the Green Wrench program in Washington, D.C., and it was providing these different automotive shops samples and products where they could try out these materials before they had to financially invest in these materials. Then we can go over and see the cost reduction for some of these products and really how it makes an impact on their customers, their employees, and the areas around them. But again, it's getting products physically to these locations, so that way they don't have to put in the financial component upfront, not knowing what outcomes are going to happen. I think that's also why I really like that the multi-use utensils and plates and silverware or serviceware to these different facilities, because that at the end of the day is also going to provide a financial component for them while reducing pretty much exposure to these different chemicals. So I want this to really to make a difference and not just be here, come join our training, and then it kind of just drops off from there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, this is Brian again. Thanks for bringing up, Luke, thanks for bringing up the Green Dining District concept. And they are hard at work, and maybe we could come up with an idea that would help them build some momentum by expanding their reach into EJ communities. Obviously, we'd have to talk with Donna, but that might also be something we could support.
Yeah, absolutely. We've invited Donna to the table in the past. And so if that's something where, she would be now willing this time to have a discussion with us and you guys as a group, certainly we'd be very open to the idea of partnering or seeing, what's going to be really the best impact overall for Nevada. I'm also completely happy submitting 2 grants, one to each program, or a totally different intent. We're here to really help make sure that sustainability reaches across all of Nevada, and especially for different areas that really need this help and support. So again, if someone has a great contact, with Donna, it's, tell her to reach out to us. We're more than willing to, talk and see how can we better partner with her.
Thank you so much for bringing that up. This is Linda, and I am actually involved as a consortium member with Donna on Green Dining Nevada, and there is support that is needed, and it is we're currently revamping, and I will talk to Donna and bring her into the loop, but because she is the leader of this Green Dining Nevada program, which is in the process of revamping outreach materials and a marketing plan and just a rollout plan. And it is, its purpose is to reduce waste. That's the primary purpose. Waste in food, waste in disposables, and education. So I just wanted to share that, and I will bring Donna up to speed on this. Thank you.
Yeah. And it's, so this is where it gets interesting, because these grant opportunities really frustrate me because they're so slim and narrow for what is applicable to them. So as much as we want to reduce waste and, reduce food waste, and how can we better that program? We need to figure out how to wrap that into this grant, and that's really pollution prevention. So that's why, again, Brian, I think getting back to that, the multi-use food service, where that also hits on the waste reduction, but also hits the P2 requirements. So that's where I've been having a hard time kind of really getting creative and seeing what materials can we reduce, while again tying it to these safer choice pollution prevention products. Yeah, so think about that as well. And like I said, I'd love to bring Donna to the table. She's been a little standoffish with us, and so if that's something that you guys can go ahead and bring her in, it's PSN really is trying to get sustainability across all of Nevada, and it's hard when kind of not everyone's on the same board, because Lukey didn't know what was going on with her, but it's still moving forward. We don't know how it's moving forward, and it's really creating a divide. But we would love to get her come into this picture, get everyone on board, so everyone knows what's happening, and really we can help continue supporting everyone moving forward, because sustainability is only going to be successful that way.
Yeah, and I agree. I was just going to touch a little bit more on that too, and I'm glad you guys are refreshing my memory more and more as some of my responsibilities around here have changed in the last couple of years. But I kind of had to come up to speed on another program I'm running, and so I kind of didn't go to any of the meetings or stuff like that. But some of the big deal was that it's like, hey, we want Washoe County to kind of tout these establishments that are meeting these requirements for these green businesses, and encourage people to go there and support the business and things like that. And then there was kind of a little subcategory of like, well, why we want to drive people to go to these businesses that are doing these sustainable and good things for the planet. Maybe some of them weren't doing so well from a food safety handling aspect. And so it kind of got, it's like, oh, maybe that's not the best idea to go down that route. And so we kind of had to pull back some of that stuff. And that was kind of where we basically ended off. It's like, yeah, until they can meet these kinds of things, I can't really tout them for being a up and up type place.
Yeah, that's a huge concern. Absolutely.
For sure. Yeah, that was a bummer.
Okay, well, Linda, maybe have a chat with Donna and see what she would be, if you'd be willing to meet with Luke and myself, or anyone. We can make it as broad as as anyone who wants to attend. But really, just seeing as we need sustainability to move forward with one voice, really, and to make sure that everyone's on the same page, because otherwise it's just going to turn into greenwashing, and that's no one wants that from anywhere.
That's great. Thank you. Yes. And reusables is part of that program as well.
Yep. Yeah, so if we can tie reusables into this P2 grant, that is my favorite idea so far. So I'm gonna be moving forward with that. And again, if anyone else has any other ideas, please suggest them. We'll open it up and see. I really need to identify the locations or communities and then the industry within those communities. So think about that as we kind of move on this week. I'll send a follow-up email to everyone on this call today to see where everyone's at. And again, we're very open to sub-awards or just partnering, getting very creative. We submitted the Recycling Education and Outreach Grant earlier this year and really learned a lot going through that process. So really excited to have another grant opportunity to come forward for the PSN and just really moving sustainability forward within Nevada. All right. So does anyone else have any other thoughts or suggestions before we end today? All right, well, not hearing any, I will go ahead and send out kind of a summary email with a couple of these links. Allie, thank you for the EJ link. And then we will continue on this conversation probably here in a couple of days. All right. All right, well, have a great rest of your day, guys, and we'll talk with you soon.
Thank you.
Yep.
Bye, everyone.
Bye now.
Thank you.